Hello, Peri and Post Menopausers. Listen, tonight it's all about some lifestyle behaviors that potentially do not line up with your goal. So often, so many things that we may be experiencing, we know that we need to do it different, but we have habits that may get in our way, and we don't necessarily want to change them, or we feel very uncomfortable with making the adjustment, even though we know we need to. Sometimes it can be challenging, right? The human body, the human brain wants to keep us with things that feel comfortable. But those things that feel comfortable are those things that have kept you right where you are, or they're not helping you move forward and they're not helping you progress past where you are with your current situation. Whether it's because you're starting to see health concerns with the state of life that you're in, maybe you're just tired, you're lethargic, you have low energy, you just don't feel like yourself. Maybe you are trying to lose weight. Whatever it is, it's important that we understand that that does require potentially some new skills and new habits, but we've gotten comfortable and it's hard to make that adjustment. Now, sometimes it's not even that you're just comfortable. Sometimes it's that you really do just lack the information or you lack the skills. And that's where you have to be able to say, do I need help to get it? And sometimes that's hard, right? Because it's uncomfortable asking people for help. Maybe you're just uncertain how to proceed. You're not really sure if you don't know what you're doing, or if it's just something with your body, or if you need to call a doctor. You're not really sure what's going on. But either way, that's something that is taking you outside of your comfort zone, taking you outside of what is comfortable or what you've been used to doing in order for you to start to do it a little bit different and start to see some results. The other part is, what is your approach? Y'all know, many of you listening, you know how we like to do it. It's all in or all out. It is from 0 to 100 so quickly because we want to get it done. But when you think about that all in approach, ladies, you know what's happened when you've done that all in approach or that 0 to 100. You can sustain that only for a very short period of time, maybe about 30 days, 40 days, you could kind of go all in. But there's going to be a moment where you're going to hit a wall and you're going to say, no more. I do not have it. And then you're going to stop completely. So you're going to go from nothing to 100% full speed ahead, all in. And then you're going to be tired and you're going to give up. And then you're going to go right back to where you were. So the approach to all of these things, most of the time, is more important than anything because the approach is what's going to keep you consistent, or it's going to cause you to retreat and say, I knew it wasn't going to work anyway, right? Because we push you outside that comfort zone. You're kind of already thinking, I don't know if I want to do it. And then you did it, but you did it so fast that you couldn't sustain that for long periods of time, or you just was so all in, right? So rigid that then you can't keep yourself there. So most of the time, the approach that is better for the majority of the people is not just the ease in, but number one, start the things that you're already crushing, that you already are like killing. You know how to do it. So you're going to stay doing those things. And then you gradually add one or two more things that, you know what, these are the things that I call them the big rocks, the things that are really in your way that you need to focus on, but just one or two at a time until you master it. You feel a little more comfortable. You find yourself winning. Then that is when you add a little bit more, right? So we just keep layering on. And y'all, it's nothing wrong with layering in. You have to think about the same way when if you're teaching a child, right? The same way you may be if you were training a coworker, if you were training somebody on your team. You don't go from them knowing nothing to the whole book. You just give a little bit at a time in doses so that they can handle the information, they feel more confident, they start to do, and then you just keep layering in. And the more that you use that approach for yourself, which is layering things in, you'll find that everything that you do on this journey becomes a little bit easier. There's less pressure, less stress, right? Because this is the time when we need to manage pressure and stress because your body is already potentially feeling stress just because of the state that it's in, right? The transition that you're in. And so we need to manage that level of stress. So we don't need to add to it by we being so gung ho that we have to go all in or nothing. We are always in, never out, but it doesn't have to be a race. But you do want to push yourself. You do want to challenge yourself in a way that still feels comfortable, but that you know is stretching you, but not going to have you about to pop, right? You want to think about this journey in any aspect as like a rubber band and it ebbs and flow, right? Some part of that little push out, right? When we got the rubber band out here, that's how many of you thrive because it's short stints of we're going to push it to the limit in short stints. But what happens when we keep pressing everything all the time and it's always out here? That rubber band, as I say, is going to pop. So we just need to do it in stages where we stretch you a little bit. We push, then we pull you back in, right? When you feel good, we're winning. I'm like, okay, I like it. I can level up. Okay, let's go again. Let's go again. But if you're doing too much, you're not going to stick, right? So just think about it. Any of this journey right now, think about the approach that you have. Are you too comfortable? And if you are too comfortable, then you want to push yourself a little bit more. And if you lack the skills, then get help to understand how to do what you're trying to do so that you have that expert who is helping you do it in a way that's a little bit more efficient. You don't have to guess and you don't have to stress about it. So I know this is a little bit shorter for the day, but that's what I want you to really think about is how are you going to take yourself through this journey and make sure that your behaviors line up to your goal. If you want to be healthier, you got to incorporate more healthy behaviors. If you want to have a better sleep routine, let's incorporate behaviors to get you there. If we need to be better at, more consistently exercising, then what are the behaviors that are going to get you there? If we need to look at your food, if we need to have more self-control, if we need to create a better prep habit, what are the behaviors that are going to get you there? So after you watch this one, I want you to think about one or two things that are happening kind of in this journey that you want to do, right? And it should be from go back to kind of your vision statement from the beginning, your menopause vision statement. Go back to that and look at what are those things you said you wanted to accomplish, or why are you doing this, or what is important to you, and pick one or two things where you realize that you know what you're not really giving it potentially your best, or either you have gotten very comfortable, maybe even complacent, and then write down what is it kind of that one level up that you can do a little bit differently to stretch yourself, but not stress yourself. Let me know in the comments. I cannot wait to hear what you're working on. I'll see you next time.